Broadcasting from the heart of downtown Hollywood. This is SoFloRadio.com.
I can't tell what time it is.
Kind of a mellow start to it. It's going to be a rocking show here, but anybody recognize who we're playing here? Another fellow alumni of South Florida, Mr. Elston Torres.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so look at all the people I have on our show. Rick Show on the radio.
Hello.
Everybody wave to their moms or whoever you want to say hi to. Welcome to the show, everybody. And finally, I get back to some music. Rick Show on the radio. I've been doing it for a while. And, I have like my filmmaker friends and my musician friends. And I have a lot of many months of filmmakers that were coming on here. And finally, I called my friend Fritz Dorigo here. I said, Fritz, man, it's time to have some musicians. You think you could bring maybe one or two musicians to my show next week?
Sure.
And he goes, sure. So here we go.
I put up the bat signal, and they all came.
Here. It's great.
He did, really.
I said, please.
And Adriane Biondo, you're a welcome guest here. How are you? My name's Rick. Pleased to meet you.
Hi, Rick. Nice to meet you. I think we've bumped into each other a few times over the years.
I think so.
What came after Sluggo?
What was the name of our band back then? I was trying to remember the name of that band. It had something to do with I guess I'll have to ask my friend Tom McWilliams to call in and tell me the name of that band.
Child?
No.
Oh, because I probably booked it.
We played at the
Yeah, why don't you tell him why you probably booked them?
Why?
Yeah,
I wasn't under arrest or anything. Was I?
No.
Why I might have booked it?
Yes, at a club around town.
Possibly because my partner at the time and I, Darlene Delano, had a little office right next door at 1928 Hollywood Boulevard called Long Distance Entertainment, and we had pretty much the lock on about 7 stages. There were that many down here at the time.
What time are we talking? What year was that now?
Mostly through the 90s.
That's
Through
the
1890s. I know all of the history of all of the people in this room.
Yes, I
know where all the bodies are buried, Rick.
Who knows Jim Worster here?
Everybody.
And Black Janet. I played with him back in the 90s.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I was the only guy that played a Chapman stick in South Florida. Yeah, that was fun with Black Janet. That was fun.
No, Black Janet. So going back to Squeeze in the reunion room.
Yep, Squeeze. You guys remember that? Who remembers the Treehouse down here?
Sure.
I lost a heel in my shoe on that stage.
I think we've all played it.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have a voicemail on my phone from Pamela Eddy, who used to own the Treehouse from just last week.
Wow.
Yeah, we can dredge up a lot of history at this table.
Yeah. And Tight Squeeze. Remember that club?
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Well, let's go around. Let's introduce everybody here, okay? I just introduced Adriane Biondo. Adriane, you happen to be, why are you amongst the musician friends here? You used to book all the talent around here, right?
Yes, at one point I probably booked or managed half of the bands in South Florida for sure. And I'm proud to and pleased also to call all of them still my friends to this day.
That's great.
We all share a lot of history together.
Yes.
And continue to do so, which I think is really, I think the thing that's so important to mention is that not only do we have an amazing history, but we also have an amazing present, because I'm still sitting here looking at Diane and Jim, and Fritz is here, and Steve's here, and Jack's here, and now we have new blood coming into the fold, and Alex Stilio,
who we get to listen to a little later on too.
Sure.
Yeah, this is going to be great. What a treat having everybody here today. And George Rodriguez, our producer here, he knows a couple people. He knows somebody. He knows a few people. And let's see, Jim Camacho. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's great to be here.
You were here once before, and then I got to see you doing a round robin down there at the Luna Star Cafe.
With Elston.
Elston and
Brian Hanlon.
Yes, I went to listen to his stuff.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I just married a beautiful Irish girl who actually still lives in Dublin right now. I'm trying to get her over here.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Mazel tov.
Yes, and so I'm going to try to hook her up with What's his name? Brian?
Brian.
Brian
Hanlon.
Yeah, because he's I think he's in the Dublin area, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Cork.
Cork. Okay, cool. All right. Yes.
At that point, it's all close.
Yeah, it is. Once you get across the pond. Yeah. So I know she's listening. So Caroline, make sure you look up Brian Hanlon. Okay.
Brian Hanlon.
Yeah.
Hi, Caroline.
Hi,
Hey.
Caroline. Hi.
All right, and now Fritz Dorigo, he's responsible for everybody here. Like I said, I gave him a call. Fritz, you've been playing in this area for quite a while.
Yeah, I've been playing for a long time, and now I'm getting into more of the business side of it, the management side. I still like to play, but I'm trying to cover all my bases, put my fingers in every pot that I can find.
All right, all right. And then you're finding new talent. I guess
Yes.
we'll go over to Alex here. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome. Oh,
Thanks for
look at
having
that.
me.
Youngest guy, and he's got the biggest, loudest voice. So, where are you from, Alex?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah, me too. Well, I'm from Philadelphia, but Alex, I'm from Fort Lauderdale area. Yeah.
I've been there too.
I've been
Philadelphia.
in Fort Lauderdale area since 1968. So
Wow.
we saw
Wow.
a lot of changes around here, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Diane Ward, finally, I get to see you behind the microphone tree there.
Sounds
Welcome
like
to the show.
Frankenstein.
Thank you.
WD-40,
Thank you.
please.
It's great to be here.
So we get to listen to everybody here in a little bit here. Let's listen to some music. We'll talk a little bit about South Florida history, music history, the South Florida scene as it is now, maybe as opposed to it was in the 90s when things were really rocking. As a matter of fact, Steve Altman.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You were a friend of my good friend Tommy McWilliams as well with the
Absolutely.
production.
We still are. We're business partners.
Excellent, excellent. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh my gosh. I've been living in the area since the late '80s, and I played in one band down here, Squadron. And,
I remember
Squadron.
that.
Squadron. Squadron was very good to me. And before that, I was from the New York area. I've lived overseas, lived in London. Had my thrill, played in a lot of national acts, toured all over the place, and then moved to the business side and worked with a lot of big bands and. Had a very big production company down here, and that was the majority of my 90s, and sold that to one of the bigger production companies, and I segued into management and worked for Sony Music and merchandise and publishing and everything.
So you're still working with Tommy and
Absolutely. Tommy and I, as you know, we talked about before the show, Tommy and I got involved in a couple of British acts and worked with Iron Maiden's management company, and we partnered with them, and so we're still doing it, and we're still always looking for new talent. And
well, I know Tom's listening. He couldn't make it or anything, but this is Tommy here these days. That's kind of what he's looking at. But
Actually,
back in the
his hair's
70s,
got a little longer
back in the
since the last
70s
one.
when I knew Tommy, he kind of looked like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you, anybody knows him recently, he kind of looks more like
Yeah,
that
he looks
now
that
now.
than that other picture. which
He's
I-
got that Edgar Winter look going.
He
these
certainly
days.
does.
He does.
I
Jim
tease him all the
Camacho,
I
the
tease him all
Reds.
the time when we're on the road now. He looks like a lot like the guy from REO Speedwagon, the bass player now.
Oh, man,
In fact,
good call.
people come up to him
Yes.
all the time and
Does he
you know,
sign autographs?
No, he wouldn't do that.
No,
but,
I think-
but he really does. And,
You guys remember Jim Dandy to the rescue?
Yes.
I think he looks like that, more or less.
but
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, man. Great history here. Great history.
Absolutely.
I don't want to leave out Frank.
Frank.
No, Jack. Sorry, Frank.
Frank.
That's the second time. Sorry, Jack.
Right. Well, he could look like he could pass for a Frank.
That's what happens when I write down the wrong name.
His awesome beard is named Frank.
See, now the youngest guy has
be
the
Frank.
deepest voice, and I'm the oldest guy, so second oldest guy has his voice.
63.
63. Okay, you got me by a few years. It is just a
The
number.
new 20.
Welcome to the show,
That's
sir.
what they say in
Thank
Florida.
you.
How long have you been in this area?
Well, I've been down here since '81, and I was one of the members of Little Nicky and the Slicks, and I've performed with Bob Dylan, Ray Charles, Tom Petty, Dr. John, Paul Butterfield,
Wow.
Al Cooper, did the Grammys with Enrique Iglesias. Have been Diane's musical partner for 20 years. Jim and I have recorded together, played together. I produced Jim Worcester's last CD. I performed with Magda Hiller, produced her last CD.
See?
So I've done a few things, and I love it down here.
Excellent.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah.
Frank says thanks.
Jack. Diane, his name's Jack. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He looks like a Frank. Of course, I never met him before, so
Frank.
he'll be Frank. His name is Jack.
Yeah, all right.
So,
Excellent.
Diane, what was the name of your band back in the 90s?
Which one?
Well,
Voidville?
There was Bootleg was the first one. Then
Oh, I
there was
remember that.
the Waits,
The Waits.
and then there was Voidville
Voidville.
with Sturgis, yeah.
Bootleg.
And then I went
Bootleg.
solo after
Bootleggers.
that.
You guys played the
okay.
Jockey
I think
Club
it was
too.
the Waits then.
No, no, but my first band, we played at the Jockey Pub with Jim. I mean, out of all these people
was-
who I've known for years and years here, Jim and I go the furthest back, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, the Jockey Pub, we were just talking. It was one of those nights where you'd play 5 sets a night for something like $50.
Yeah,
Yes.
50,
Yeah.
75 bucks, yeah,
and,
whatever.
you know, you'd be lucky if you didn't get killed.
yeah, yeah.
It's now-
And now, yeah, it's
it's
now
that.
an AA. And now it's now an AA, yeah.
I played there my first gig ever. Out was playing the Jockey Pub. It had a German owner at the time. I don't know if he was owning it when you guys were playing. And he told me we needed to have music from 8 o'clock till 4 in the morning. And he would give us $200. And we were all me being the oldest in the band was 18. And everyone was about 15. We were like $200. We can record.
We got screwed.
You know,
Was the fabulous Eric Dorigo in this band?
Yes, he
also?
was. He was 14
He was
at the
14.
time.
wow.
Wow.
That's $200.
Yes, he was. He was 14 at the time, and my parents came to see us, and they said, "Oh, can we curse?" They said,
yes.
"Holy fucking crap! Are you sure you guys are going to be all right here?"
Yeah, no.
I said, we'll be fine if we don't come home by 3 o'clock. You can call the police. It was what a great place. And needless to say, we played there 3 months in a row,
Just like
every
yesterday.
Friday and Saturday, and our pay went down as the crowds got a little bigger. That's
Oh, man. Wait a second. It went down.
yes. Somehow the
That doesn't-
music business kind of works like that. I'm
Do
finding out.
you young musicians hear that out there? We had a lot of. We didn't even have drum machines or vocorders or anything back then. And as a matter of fact, I think we had to walk to our gig, both uphill, both ways, right?
In the snow. In the snow.
In the snow.
In the South Florida snow.
That's right.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. So, Mr. Camacho,
Yes, sir.
your band, The Goods, pretty popular band back in the early 90s, right?
Yep.
And then in the late 90s again. Mm-hmm. And then early 2000s.
Yeah, we had a great time playing music for a while, and now I'm still having a great time
Oh, yeah.
playing music.
Okay, speaking of that, why don't we get down to playing some music here? What do you say, Jim? Let's
Okay.
start with you,
All right.
sir. Do you want to move on?
No, it's
up so
okay.
we can,
Okay, thanks, Adrian.
What do you got for us today?
Well, I think I'm going to play my next single,
Okay.
which, may I put my foot here?
Please.
We're all like one big happy family.
Where's here?
Okay, yeah. Leave it to the radio listener's imagination.
Can I put my foot here?
A little bit to the left. Is that all right? Okay, this song is called Please Come Home, okay?
No, he's just happy to see you.
Some call it madness, some call it love. Some things have no name. Looking for answers that I used to know. Nothing stays the same. Looking at people and situations. How does anyone find their way? Names on paper change. People walk away. And it happens every day. And I'm afraid she'll do the same. But she says, please come home, it's late. There's no one to talk to. nowhere to go. Seems like open doors have closed. And I wanna tell her how I was so wrong. Well, she already knows. Maybe she'll leave me, it's what I deserve. Maybe she'll keep me for better or worse. Names on paper change. People walk away, and it happens every day. And I'm afraid she'll do the same. But she says, please come home, it's late. Take it away, Frank. Talk to, nowhere to go. Feels like the doors have all closed. Names on paper change. People walk away, and it happens every day. And this could end today. But she says, please come home, it's late. Yes, she says, please come home, it's late. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Jim.
Thank you. Pretty good.
My text is just blowing up. My friend Rich Nolan from North Miami just texted me and said, man, I love Jim Camacho. I love the Goods for so long. He said he used to see you guys rock out at Churchill's years ago.
Yeah.
A venue that is still around.
Yeah, still. It was almost going to be gone, but
It's the, I know. It's
yeah.
the part that we're going to take.
Wow, what a great lineup here, man. I mean, I'm so happy that I'm a musician as well because, you know, I love working in films, but music is such a universal joiner of people, don't you think? People have been writing music for many different reasons forever, you know?
Yeah, I agree. It's instant emotion.
Yeah.
You know, just a song. A movie, you got to go through so many steps.
Mm-hmm.
And you hope you get the emotion you're trying to get out of it. You know,
Right.
You might think you're getting an emotion. You show it to somebody, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? It doesn't make me mad. It makes me laugh." And you're like, "That's not what I'm going for." But music, you can get emotion right away, and it connects over different ages, different ethnicities, cultures. A song can just really change things.
Sure, I know.
In 3 minutes.
I'm pretty sure that we all have a song, maybe back when we were in high school or something, with our first love or something, and remember this Deep Purple song. For me, it was a Deep Purple song that always just brings me back to like 1975. It wasn't that one, but it was that one. Yeah.
Yeah, like a musical time machine.
Yeah, and it just gives you. I'm
That
like,
one.
oh my God, it's 1975 already. You know, I'm back. I'm wow, I'm back there.
Total trigger.
It is. It really is. Yep. And people write songs for so many different reasons, which is great about music. There's people that write, social change songs. Like back in the 60s, that was a really, really big thing now. Or else songs about love and just, songs that just make you want to.
Songs about
Get out of it.
I-95 assholes.
Yeah, or anything, yeah.
Yeah, all the good songs. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Tasting for pennies. Yes, tasting like
Jim,
pennies.
before we leave you, what motivates you to write songs on any particular time in your life?
Well, sometimes it's inspired, And that can be whatever's happening in your life, and you have to get it out. It's like therapy. But then there are other times when you just want to keep the muscle strong, like I did recently with my dear friend Diane, and we just, you'll set a timer, at least we will, for like 30 minutes, and you'll say, okay, let's knock out a song in 30 minutes, and then whatever it is. It might suck, but at least, you keep the muscle strong and you're good at it. And that's what we do. So for me, it's like craft. That would be the craft end of it. Mm-hmm. And then there's the inspired songs. You really can't fake or force an inspired song. It has to just happen.
Sure.
So.
Well, it takes discipline to write the other type of song.
Yeah, and the more you're doing the other type of songs, the better you get when inspiration comes.
Sure. I guess that makes sense. How about you, Fritz? You're a songwriter? You're a songwriter as well.
I am a songwriter, and I actually had a couple songs that did really well. And at the time, a lot of it's inspiration. Mm-hmm. There is the craft of learning the instrument itself, however good you want to learn it, how well you want to be at it. But at the time, we'd get friends in a room and we'd write. And if something inspired, we'd work on it and then go on to the next. I don't know where it just came out. It always felt like the songs were already there. And, we were the medium to get it through so everyone else can hear what's already there.
I agree with that. I think there was the lead singer of the Black Crowes said something that like all the songs are like up here and we just have to connect to them and bring them. That's what it is. There's like a well.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I think you can only get in the way.
And two more
times. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can only get in the way.
Yeah.
That's true. If you just open up, it comes quicker.
Exactly. If you get too critical about yourself, if you, did you want to make it more intelligent?
Right. Yeah. And then it becomes less. So I think.
Yeah. I hear it.
Correct. Also, too, if you work too hard at it, it shows.
Yeah.
A lot of the best writers will tell you that the stuff comes and goes.
Yeah.
Their best songs happened in 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
5 minutes.
I have to ask Jim, where did you get that technique? Did you make that? Is that an invention of yours or somebody?
Well, being in a band when you're, I've been in a band since I was 5. The Sunny Rainbow. And then from then on.
Wow.
Oh, I think I got their demos.
Me and my brother and a guy, Louis Diaz, drummer, who's actually I think a producer now or something.
Buy drugs from that guy, Sunny Rainbow.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it was very, Casey and the Sunshine Band influenced at the time. But anyway, so that was like, but and I was writing since I was maybe 10 or so, but it would just be like, where did I get that from? I guess maybe because I'm not the most patient person in the world, and we have a rehearsal tonight, or we're rehearsing every night this week. Well, at the end of this week, we could have 20 songs, out of which maybe 3 could be good, maybe 1 could be great. Mm-hmm. How about that? Let's just spend this whole week with that timer on, and dig for gold.
Yeah, that's not a bad technique at all. I mean, it's a matter of numbers, I guess, right?
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
guess the people that you're working with as well. When you work with Diane or somebody else, you'll get inspired to go a different way to write songs, right?
Yeah, I mean, what Diane's bringing Diane to the party, you know what I mean, and I'm bringing me to the party. Whatever happened with me that day, so the song that we wrote last time surprised the hell out of both of us because it's like, what the hell is this song about? Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, how about?
Did you see how he just pawned that off on me? Sorry.
Yeah.
You guys want to maybe do that song?
No.
No, you don't want to do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It would probably be really fun to play it, but I understand it's fun.
Yeah, I'm terrified. You see, I'm fascinated with Jim. The way he approaches his craft is so incredible. So for me, I'm inspired by it. So it's a little intimidating when you go to write with him, but he does that timer thing because it's like, oh my God. And I see Alex over here like nodding his head, oh my God. But
I like the timer thing.
Yeah, it really keeps you.
I thought it was a metaphorical timer thing.
No, it really keeps
you. It's like a real egg timer that goes ding at the end.
Yes.
Man, oh man.
But there's also like a stick at the end of that. It's not just a carrot of a good song. At the end, if you don't write the song,
you get hit with a stick?
You die.
You die.
You die. You choose your way you die.
You choose the way you die, and then if you don't have the song, it can suck. You have to finish the song before the 30 minutes.
It's incredible. It's
other songwriters.
It's
different techniques.
Yeah.
It's S&M songwriting is what it is. Yeah.
All right, speaking of songwriting techniques, Alex, let's go to Alex then. Alex, the youngest one of our crowd here, the new blood. Alex, what do you like to write about these days? What inspires you to write a song?
I mean, I don't know. It's just like kind of like Jim said. The motivation comes from inspiration, which could be like I don't know, looking out your window, seeing a cloudy sky or a kiss, something like that. I don't know. It's
You're gonna play a song for us?
Yes.
And what inspired? What's the name of the song, and what inspired you to write it?
Cloudy Sky Kiss.
Cloudy Sky Kiss. Yeah.
Did you help me write
By
that?
love.
We might write it after.
By love.
That could be a good name for a band as well.
Yeah, it is great.
Do we have an egg timer?
Yes.
Yes. We got 30 minutes.
No, that was not a rhetorical question. The song you're going to play, what inspired you to write it? Tell us a little bit
girl.
about that. A girl.
Yes.
There you go.
Girl.
Many songs have been written about that, don't you think, Fritz?
Yeah, sure.
Fritz is married. He's not going to say much.
The girls didn't really inspire my songs much.
Oh, really?
No, more like frustration, aggravation.
Oh, you're going to
when-
get it when
Oh,
you
wow.
go home
And
tonight,
I
man.
was-
You're in trouble.
I was like the girls. It was. You know what it was? Realizing that I joined a band just so I can get paid $20 to carry equipment into a club, and at 3 a.m. carry equipment back to out of the club, and then get home and carry equipment back into the rehearsal room, and then that was the frustration and the aggravation for that.
And girls still wouldn't talk to you.
No,
I know.
Still.
You know, they talked to,
Still, I
they
played
talked to
guitar
the
and I-
bartenders.
girls
That's
went
what they
away.
did.
So Fritz, listen, I'm just going to put this in before we switch to Alex. Make sure that we have a moment to talk about that unfortunate pyro incident at the +5.
Oh.
And your brother and his fingers drumming and the pyro that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Well, that sounds like a fun story.
Yes.
Eric's going to be really happy you didn't remember.
I don't. I'm trying to think.
I'll fill you in
Okay.
after
okay.
Alex.
Okay.
All right, Alex.
So this song's
deal.
about my girlfriend now. When she wasn't my girlfriend when I wrote it, but she lived up in New York, and this is pretty much what it's about.
All
What's the
right,
name of the
great.
song?
Brooklyn Bridge.
All right, let's hear it, Alex.
You come back, I'm right there. You say those words and they cut right through to me. Broken hearts, rolling wheels. Make no promises, run on what you feel. I know you're talking about all those messages you want to erase, but you can't. I know I want you now more than anything. Can I see you again and again and again? Come on, won't you kiss me on the Brooklyn Bridge? We don't have the money, but we're stupid rich. We got something real, no denying it. Now I know what you meant, got your messages. Is it wrong if it's true? Who's to say what works for me and you? We can't keep breathing lies. We could die in the dark or come to life. I know you're talking about all those messages you want to erase, but you can't. I know I want you now more than anything. Can I see you again and again and again? Come on, won't you kiss me on the Brooklyn Bridge? We don't have the money, but we're stupid rich. We got something real, no denying it. Now I know what you meant, got your messages. You came across an ocean, so don't look back at the sea. And I just want devotion. Is that too far to reach? And I won't ask for mercy as I'm falling at your feet. And in another world you would be waiting there for me on the Brooklyn Bridge. We don't have the money, but we're stupid rich. We got something real, no denying it. Now I know what you meant, got your messages. Come on, won't you kiss me on the Brooklyn Bridge? We don't have the money, but we're stupid rich. We got something real, no denying it. Now I know what you meant, got your messages. Oh, you know I'm in, finally I'm getting it. Oh, you know I'm in, finally I'm getting it. Finally, I'm getting it.
All right. Good job.
I actually co-wrote that one with Jim.
Yay.
All right.
5 minutes.
Way to bring the youngsters
In
along,
under
Jim
30 minutes.
Camacho.
Well, it was 30 minutes, but then tweaked slightly.
Yes.
For 3 years now.
But was there an egg timer involved?
Well, no, an iPhone.
No, that was an. Oh, okay. That was an
iPhone's
inspired
always
song. That wasn't one of those.
It was inspired.
It was
Yeah.
an inspired song. Excellent
nice.
job, man.
Very nice.
Is guitar your first instrument then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I started with Fritz when I was 10.
That's
10.
Right. He was a student of mine, a guitar student, and through the years, he just started writing a lot of songs, and they got better and better. And I said, "Oh, I'd like to introduce you to people I've known around town, and you know, I'd like to get feedback." And he was with a band, Wildfly.
Yes.
And they, in their like 2 short years, they opened for Cowboy Mouth, they opened for Saigon Kick, they won a big battle of the bands. They did well, and then high school ended, and the band kind of ended, you know. But Alex wanted to keep continuing, so I
Great.
still work with him, and I connected him with Jim and a few other people. Hopefully, he'll be writing some songs with Diane soon.
Good, good. You got a CD gonna come out anytime soon?
Well, I've been in the studio a lot.
Okay.
But, I don't know. Hopefully within the next 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Around there.
Where can anybody go? You got a gig coming up or anything like that? Or
No, but I
see you?
pop in and do some open mics, like at Care for Art Bar.
Which is in Delray, in case.
Yes, in Delray. I'll do Cheers up on Cypress Road in Pompano.
Website.
Oh, okay. Cypress
website.
Creek.
Yeah, the old Cheers.
Yeah.
Everyone here has probably been there multiple
Oh
times.
yeah, yes,
Yeah.
I've been there many times.
I don't have an up and running website, but I'm on
Okay.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Alex DeLeo.
DeLeo.
You can find JimCamacho.com.
Because I was looking for him.
Oh, DILEO.
Yeah.
And you
DI,
can find
okay.
JimCamacho.com, DianeWard.com, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can find it. All over FritzDorigo.com. You can find that.
And Frank.com.
Frank.com.
No, I'm sorry.
Frank.com.
I'm sorry.
Is it still Monstro Entertainment?
Jack Shawde, are you still an attorney when you're not?
I'm almost retired.
You're almost. Jack Shawde is the most recognizable, amazing side guy guitarist who also has.
I thought I
A
saw those
real
commercials
thing.
late at night.
Real job.
I thought I
real
looked familiar.
But I only really know you as a guitarist from seeing you first with Nikki and then with yeah.
So you guys
He's a
wrote
special guest today.
some songs with Diane here. I know she's been in the area for quite a while, writing songs with everybody.
I wanted to ask her a question.
Oh, you want to ask her? Go ahead.
So, how do you normally write, Diane? How does that work? What's your?
Are there egg timers involved?
There's no egg timers, but that has been completely embraced. I am going to include the egg timer.
Sure, why
I'm
not?
going to embrace the egg
Embrace the
timer.
egg timer.
What- don't
on a
forget the
weekly
stick
basis
in the end.
because
You
it's an
gotta have
incredible process. No,
The stick is an important part.
for me, it's inspiration. As you spoke earlier, it's really inspiration, and it could come from what I'm going through or from what my friends are going through. Thank you, my friends and family, or just something you read in the paper or you see on television that just kind of sparks that little thing that we all have.
Can I just wonder at the moment that we're all here talking music and it's like rain and
Cue the
it's
ambient
really
rain.
It's a great day.
Isn't it a cool
Right.
day? It's a
love
great
it.
day to be
Missing
alive
the
right
beer.
now.
It
is,
It's
it
really
really
nice
is.
here, yeah. Diane, why don't you play a song for us? We'd love to hear
Sure.
something. Which song are you going to play and what is it inspired by? Can
Okay,
you tell us?
it's a newer song, inspired. It's called "Some Kind of Angel," and it's inspired by a conversation I was having with a friend of mine who has an incredible life. She's very, very busy and has a new baby. And so her life is very hectic and crazy, and things could go absolutely bonkers with her during the day. But when she goes home and she opens the door, her baby comes running, puts her arms around her, and the world is just right again. So,
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a good song.
yeah, so
All right.
this yeah.
All right.
So you just wanna slow down and shake off the world.
the dealer he lies. And just when you've had enough, just when the flames burn out, on your last breath she'll come around and give you a refuge. She's some kind of angel. So you had another man down, and she prays for the fall. Just another wayward moment from on top the higher wire. Cheer for the desperate ones. Here's to the common dust, and into her arms you'll turn and run, but taking her shelter. She's some kind of angel. She's your belief, the strength and release from the darkness that you become. Close your eyes, give in to the light, and just let her drive you home. She'll make you feel alright. She'll make you feel alright. She'll make you feel alright. Yeah. Angel. And just when you've had enough, and just when the flames burn loud, and on your last breath she'll come around and give you a refuge. She's some kind of angel. She's some kind of angel. Angel. She's some kind of angel.
Woo!
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can tell that was an inspired song.
Thanks.
I feel like everything that Diane writes is inspired.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We
Can
could-
I just take this moment to announce my undying love for Diane Ward
Sure,
for decades
I'd
and
second the
decades and
motion.
decades?
It's easy to see why Diane is one of the most popular musicians in the South Florida area here, playing around for a number of years with some really good people as well.
She also is a mad drummer.
Yes, that
Didn't
I-
know
Mad,
Yes.
mad drumming skills.
yes.
Wow.
Which really, Honestly.
I can't take credit for it. He's amazing.
He's ridiculous. He's a little time
awesome.
machine.
Yeah.
You know, it really speaks to something that we just started to talk about a little while ago when we were talking about how music brings people together and how songs bring people together. It's what I do for a living. I go out in the world and I bring music to the people.
Yeah.
And we have an opportunity to see how that happens across cultures. South Africa, South America, all over Europe, of course in the States, you know, and it is received differently in every place. But the common thread is that when, you know, we all talk about this all the time, when the lights go down and the artist shows up on stage, there's just this moment that's so explosive when the band or the artist and the crowd and everybody in the room is on the same page, feeling the same vibe at the same time. There is not another thing on this planet that equals that.
Nope.
You do not find it anywhere. And I think that that's why people use music to communicate messages that are of great importance.
Absolutely.
You know, and for me personally, just being in the room with Diane Ward, you know, she was one of the first artists that I ever worked with in my young fledgling life when I was 12. In my, you know, real super young, you know, she had these bands she mentioned earlier, Bootleg and The Wait, and I was towing the line for those guys, and I felt such great respect for them, and I have continued to just, I love you to pieces.
Yes,
I love you all, man.
it's a transcendental
I do.
medium for
Really.
sure. You know, it reminds me. I got maybe a little story about that if I can. Before, we got a few more minutes. Well, my musical experience when I was growing up, and I went to high school down here. And I graduated in 1976, so I started in 72. And back then they had this integration thing going on where they just made all the white kids go to the black schools and all the black kids go to the white schools, you know, that type of thing. And it was a problem. It was a problem throughout the nation at that time. People were having riots and all this stuff. But during my year, we were just, you know, kids who were listening, you know, listening to Queen when they were first coming out, and David Bowie, and we started our little band, and we this kid came up, this big black guy came up, and he was the best drummer, and we played with him. So we put this band together, and his friends came along, and one of his older friends showed me how to slap on the bass back in the 70s, and it was this thing where we put this band together with, you know, our influences from the soul music that was going on back then, and we're playing like Brian May and Queen, and we had this band, and we played at pep rallies, and the whole time our band was together playing at this high school. It was Dillard High School. We never had any fights. It was just this, like I said, it's a transcendental type of thing. It was just a beautiful experience being able to, you know, blend, what was the problem? Oh no, us white kids and black kids, we don't know each other. We're supposed to, you know, get along. But what is it that got us together? It was music. And it was beautiful. It really was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
True story. It snowed down here.
It did.
That was in first grade.
74.
We got out of class.
Yeah.
To see what they called snow.
You couldn't make snow angels or anything like that, but
no.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to. Adriane, you had a story about my brother and some pyro.
Oh yeah,
which
let's get to that.
I'm clocking through my brain trying to think.
There was some.
I'm coming up with a blank.
This was +5 land.
Okay, +5 land.
It was excessive.
Did he light his sticks on fire?
No,
his gong on
it had
fire?
to do with some M80s, some faked out, tricked out pyro that went sort of wrong.
You mentioned
And
something
we
about
had
his fingers.
some fingers.
Does he have all of
some
his
injuries.
Now, you see, now to be on the fair side, I don't remember ever making pyro, though I was hanging out with Hanky Panky that got kicked out of the button with some crazy pyro. And I remember, I'm trying to remember this, I don't remember anything. I remember there was a band called Conniption Fit that used to do crazy, stupid shit. I mean, I remember as a 6-year-old, my brother seeing Alex Van Halen on TV, and he lights the gong on fire and the sticks, and my brother's like, that's the coolest thing ever. And one Saturday morning we wake up to him going, ah, and he went into the bathroom, and he thought he could light these two sticks
This is
on
a family
fire.
show.
These two ones with that, what is it, with the plastic tips? And he held it up because he thought it looked cool, and I think it burned a hole right through.
Oh.
He's 7 years old.
bathroom and do it.
Well, yeah, because my parents' door was closed. He didn't want to wake them. But he got the desired Alex Van Halen effect with the burning the hole in the hand. But that's the one pyro I know. But
yeah, this was some M80s loaded into a PVC tube, if my memory serves me correctly, and it all didn't go well.
I really drawing a blank.
And I remember that I was not there, but I got a frantic phone call from Duke and Louie.
Oh, Duke.
Duke and Louie at the +5, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish, and everyone here has played the +5 except Alex.
I did.
Because
all y'all did.
Yeah.
But +5, Duke, was he the owner, correct?
He was, indeed.
Duke was like, I don't know. I don't know him very well because I didn't really, deal with him. I was dealing with long distance and the guy was running the club at the night, or the sound guy. But I could just, if the +5 was around now, it would have a reality show.
It would absolutely have
Duke. It was like a real life Sopranos thing. I don't know if he was even real life, but he would come to his own club in a limo, and
occasionally,
occasionally,
but
it was a pool hall, and you got to understand it was in Davie. If everyone down here, and Davie at the time, we're talking, 20 years ago. Davie wasn't like it is now. It was very much here at the end of the world at that.
We were cow tipping across the street.
Yes, and it was just, and he was every stereotypical. I don't even know if he was Italian, but every stereotypical.
No, he
Sopranos,
wasn't. He was Jewish, but all his cronies were.
But every stereotypical thing you see on the Sopranos, that was the club.
That was real. Louis was real. You know the movie Goodfellas?
I think he had a little onk on his.
Louis was the nephew of Tommy DeSimone, which was actually the character. Yeah, it's real. It was all real. Man, just so you know, it was definitely real.
It's a reality. That was a reality show that needed to happen in 1991.
But I got to tell you, for all that craziness, to Duke's credit, we were the first rock and roll club in Broward County to do 7 nights of all original rock and roll.
Yeah, that was good.
We moved off the cover band thing and moved into 7 nights, not weekends, not Thursday through Sunday. That was something.
Yeah, what happened?
There a lot.
Why don't they do anything?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about Alex? How are the clubs around town?
Yeah. What do you think?
And how come Miami doesn't have a rock station?
Yeah. What's up with that?
Where's the original music clubs down here that you guys like the best? Luna Star.
Luna Star is great, but Luna Star is definitely, you're not bringing in a hard rock band or a punk band or it's a great listening room. Churchill's would be that.
Yeah, that's.
It's funny. I know still the scene, and I can name a few places. The owner of Revolution has a place called Stash, which does music a couple nights a week. But he kicks it over to DJs because that's by 10 o'clock there is. A Funky Biscuit, but do they really cater to most locals? No. You have places. What seems to be doing well down here right now is like the blues scene. But then again, they don't want to hear your original blues. They want you to hear "Torn Down Again" for the 57,000th time, or Stevie Ray Vaughan. But that seems to be pretty healthy down here. Miami right now is missing a dearth of listening rooms. You have the Luna Star. I can't think of another place that's. No. That's a listening room where you guys could show up with acoustics and people are showing up to hear your song and not there to, dance around. They're just here. Right. And just like a great rock and roll bar. There might be. I might be just a little bit losing it, but I see different places where bands play in Wynwood at like Gramps or in the beach at Kill Your Idol or Jazz It in Miami Beach. But
does Grand Central do anything with original music?
No, very rarely. Jim played there with a year ago with like Forget the Name reunion, but it was for a record store day promotion. Right. And there are little venues that do have bands like on Fridays or Saturdays, but it's not the same.
No,
and they're not.
The
they just happen to have a space, and they'll let the band play if the band does well. They do it, but they're not actively going out. There's some places like the groups like the Rhythm Foundation, which seems to be doing stuff at like Young Circle and North Beach Pier or North Beach Spanshell. But again, they're not always pushing anything local other than Spam All-Stars.
What about that place that Groovy plays on Fridays, Woody's? Yeah.
Well,
you guys have played there.
Well, we haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
We will. He's open for suggestion, which is one thing I like about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he also weighs heavily in the covers.
Yeah, they want to hear, and it's just right now.
But at least he's willing to entertain.
And like most clubs, if you can prove that you can, it goes back. This goes back to when I was when I met Adriane when she was working at Long Distance. If you can, a lot of bars, in the end, do they care what music you're doing? If you bring seats in there and people that buy beer and buy food, if you can get in there and you can prove yourself, I think some owners would be a little more receptive. But it's not like they're out promoting. Hey, come see this.
We play a venue on the West Coast called the Little Bar in Goodland.
Take that mic.
Yeah, you
take that mic, Jack.
Frank, grab the mic.
Frank here. We play a venue on the West Coast near Marco Island called the Little Bar, which is the most eclectic, wonderful, crazy-ass place. And if we had more places like the Little Bar over here, it'd be transformational.
Well, what I was going to say was that these days, you can just open up your laptop and do a concert.
Yeah, you can do that
so
too.
we couldn't do that back in the day. Yeah, we're doing that right now.
You think that is why we don't have such a great music, original music scene?
Kind of sucks right now.
Yeah. Well, it always, it's been kind of apathetic. Like I said, I've been down here for a long time, and I think like the 90s was the only time that I remember where there was like a real viable original music thing, like a lot going on back then.
There was a lot going on.
Yeah,
Nuclear Valdez, Marilyn
yeah,
Manson,
Marilyn
Saigon
Manson.
Kicks, the Mavericks. I mean, we had a lot going on.
And there was a
but
couple
there was a
periods.
scene. There was a
Original
scene
music.
that supported it. Now let me ask you guys
Yes.
this. I've just moved back from Los Angeles. I was gone for almost 8 years. I come back to this town to find out that there's not a current rock and roll station
got it,
on the radio
sister.
in South Florida.
It's been like that for a few years too.
Which was shocking to me, and I'm in denial,
Yeah.
and I still look for it. So I just want to throw this out to you guys. Do you think that we don't have a rock station for the same reason that we don't have original music venues or a scene anymore? And what is that? Is it a change in the climate? Is it different? Are people listening to different things?
I mean, they have country stations.
Well, yeah.
Right. I mean, they have country stations, but we're talking about, sort of current rock and roll is somehow wiped off the map down here. And it surprises me because I know for a fact that it still happens,
and
that it's not off the map. It's
funny.
just
Funny you mentioned wiped out.
Where are
It's
the where are
really
the outlets?
it's really wiped out just in Palm Beach, Southern Palm Beach, Broward, and Northern Dade. Because once you get to Southern Dade and get into Monroe, the Keys have a couple cool rock stations, like a pirate radio that's really good. And in fact,
and so does Fort Myers.
Yeah, Fort Myers.
Halfway
the West
across
Coast still
Alligator
has-
Alley, we can pick up rock and roll.
And getting closer to Orlando, there's some rock stations still up there. Why?
Well, there's no which rock and roll band is doing really good these days. There aren't any. I mean, it's all more like more pop kind of stuff, like Miley Cyrus type
I don't
music.
know. I just
you
did
know?
a big world tour with a band called the Black Keys, and we played a lot of rock and roll.
Black Keys,
you
yeah, but
understand? So and we sold out the BBT without a rock radio station in the market. So that tells you that people still want to hear.
It's
Still
not like
wanna hear
rock
music.
concerts don't play down here.
No,
they
we
still,
do. They do.
still come
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah.
So and there's still people going to see them.
And Revolution still got, indie band and Culture
Yeah, they
Room
do,
both
yeah.
still have indie bands. So the bands are still coming down. It still
Steve,
happens.
what's going on
Big
here?
bands that are coming with big venues like BBT are, correct me if I'm wrong, are more legacy bands.
No, not necessarily. Alex, didn't you
Lot.
go to
Not
a
lot.
festival at Cruzan with like bleachers playing? I don't remember.
Yeah, I went to a festival
it was
at
like-
Cruzan where Cage the Elephant played. Bleachers.
Yeah, those are
They're
younger
newer. Like
groups.
Bleachers just came down in the Culture Room.
Yeah, and was it filled, the Culture Room when you
Yeah,
went?
totally packed.
See, and that's like alternative rock. So there's the kids.
Ed Sheeran's coming down to the American Airlines.
Alex can probably vouch for this. What I do notice from teaching young kids, a lot of them the computer takes over the radio, and Sirius XM takes over the
that's
radio.
what we're doing.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
SoFloRadio.com.
Look, you know,
Yes.
if from a corporate standpoint, which owns the radio waves, if the demo is there, it would be here.
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Right.
I'm guilty. I listen to XM in the car
Right.
because
Yeah, me too.
the
Yeah.
truth of it is if the demo would support it, one of the corporate, they would provide it. But the fact of it is that there's not enough of it there, and there's not enough. Your band,
Right.
the truth of it is there's not enough in that demo for them to put together enough of a playlist for the sponsors to pay for it.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's unfortunately that's where that is.
in modern age,
as horrible as that is,
That's what
and
we're
as
dealing
far
with.
as independent stations could not knock on enough doors to say would you buy commercials? So those
if
days
they
are
can
gone.
even get a license or get a station, get a frequency.
or pay for enough bandwidth.
Yeah.
So those days are just over.
They are.
Do you think that speaks to the lack of an original music scene down here? Do you think?
No, I think there's a lot of original music down here, and Alex could vouch. There's a band called Sun Ghost that does really well. A band called Raggy Monster that's doing really well. There's probably a few more that I'm missing. And this guy Dean Taha has a little label called Gumdrops. He has a band called Crisp, and a few things. Gold Dust Lounge, which is an instrumental surf rock thing. They're not doing. I'm not going to say they're gangbusters, but there's a lot. Going on.
Let me just say too. Unfortunately, and this is heartbreaking, but original music really, unfortunately, and this is terrible, has nothing to do with it, because go back to the golden days of the 80s and 90s, GTR, WSHE, Zeta, whoever it was, gave an hour on Sunday night for local bands. Yep. So even back then, commercial radio didn't give a crap about local music when they should have.
As a whole, we'll give a shout out to Mad Mike from GTR. Who's probably
hey,
listening.
Mike. Sorry, Mike. And guys like Mike and Billy Murphy and Steve Stansel fought as hard as they could. I brought all my artists into those guys. They fought as hard as they could, but corporate back then just didn't care, because that didn't sell radio time.
And I have to put a little asterisk on that. I have to thank Kimba and Greg Steele for that 1 hour, because it got my band a record deal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So that 1 hour, it did suck that's all they gave to it, but that 1 hour was great. But I have to say, about even back at that time, and Steve probably could vouch for this, maybe even Adriane and Jim with the Goods, if I knocked on the door and said, hey, I have a band called The Goods, they would, where you, they would laugh. We don't have time for you. Go back to my. But if I got Steve from New York to say, hey, there's this band called The Goods, and they have a song, and they would immediately, if they knew Steve, or if they said, oh, we'll take a listen and play it. It was like this whole stigma, and I think it's probably not just Miami, but Miami growing up here, this is all I really knew growing up here. Right. It was this whole stigma of like, they're a great local band. Marilyn Manson's drawing like bucket loads, but we're not going to touch them. Trent Reznor comes down and starts to work with them. All of a sudden, hey, we'll start promoting Marilyn Manson a little. And it was the same band. They had the same crowd.
Right. I know we're kind of short here on time, right? But no, we're not. Okay, great. But I just want to tell a little story about getting on the radio. The Goods back in the day, early Goods, we had Y100, which was just a pop pop rock station back in the day. Still is. Great. Still kicking. All right, great. And they were nice enough to let us in with a guy in a gorilla suit wearing a paper bag on his head to come in to talk to him all about the Goods. And we came in with him, and we sang our song on guitars, and they said, we got to hear this. So then they played it on the air, and the feedback was great. So they actually started playing our song. So there is a way, if you're, you can find it.
You're for persistent.
Yeah. And that way, I don't know if that will work today when the head of a radio station, the ones that make the decision, don't even live in the town, live 10 states away.
Well, but let's face it, in the last 20 years, those decisions are not made locally. They're buying their playlist off of some musicologist company that's telling them what they should play. So regardless of who's popular locally, it doesn't factor in because that's not in the equation.
No, you're
well, I think
correct.
that's big reason why George Rodriguez here.
Thank you, George.
Music all day long and talk shows.
There you go. Exactly. So you want to find where they're playing original music? It's going to be right here, SoFloRadio.com. Definitely. That's we definitely support our local.
Thanks for giving us the outlet, and Rick, thanks for getting everyone here.
Sure, man. We play your guys' music throughout the week. Whatever, you give us some of your music, and it goes, in our music hours. Yep, throughout the week. So this is where you go listen to it right here. Man, I could do like 2 hours here. Will you guys promise me that I know we had a lot of people in here, and I'm getting back into music again. Can I get maybe some of you guys to come back again, and maybe a couple more, and we'll give you more time. Maybe if you have a CD or something, or even if you don't, promise me you can come back in the next month or so. And we'll give you some more time and play some more music together, all right?
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks for getting us all here.
All right, great. Well, thank you very much for showing up. I know that hour just zoomed by.
Real quick, Rick.
Sure.
Is this... I see you're filming us live streaming, George. Does this get put up on YouTube?
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah.
And how would I find it on YouTube? What would I type in the search bar to find it?
Well,
SoFlo Radio.
SoFloRadio.com.
Rick Show on the radio.
SoFlo Vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's Rick's show on the radio.
That's right. That's where you can go.
SouthFlorida.com.
Sounding very radio.
976 Duck.
It's not just radio, though, because we can all wave to our moms.
Hey.
Come on.
So let's all wave. I guess we're going to wave goodbye then, okay? So thank you
We're
very
also
much.
making new music fans. There's a little baby out there called Myra Alice who's with her mama, who's an old school music person, and they're listening. So we're making new music fans today.
All right, let me say goodbye to everybody. My friend Fritz
Thank
Dorigo, Jim Camacho, Diane Ward, Adriane, Biondo. I always got it right. I got it right. Alex DeLeo, Jack. Sorry,
Jack
I kept calling
Shawde,
you
ladies
Frank.
and gentlemen. Jack Shawde,
And
also
Steve
known as
Altman.
Frank.
Thank you guys for coming out.
And George
Thanks
Rodriguez.
for having us.
And the
And
board op.
George Rodriguez.
Anthony, our board op. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Andy, the
Say
board op.
goodbye. We'll see you guys. Thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you.
At SoFloRadio.com.
Thank you all.
You're listening to SoFloRadio.com.